Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be checking out a piece of kit that's been an essential part of my gear, my bushcrafting gear for the last couple of years now. So today we are going to be checking out the Nessmuk oilskin tarp by Bushcraft Spain. Now this is an interesting piece of kit for various reasons, whether it be natural materials, natural colours, which are quite important factors to me, and overall practicality. Regardless of whether you care about the other things, there are a few reasons why you may consider choosing this tarp, even if you're a more modern bushcrafter. So, what this is a replica, a reproduction of one of the tarps described in George W. Sears, also known as Nessmuk's, Bushcraft Guide. Now, for those of you who don't know, George W. Sears was a writer, poet, bushcrafter, outdoorsman, adventurer in the 1800s, and he wrote for a magazine, and he also wrote what is considered one of the first bushcraft manuals, and he's kind of considered one of the grandfathers of modern bushcraft, and specifically ultra lightweight camping. So with that said, let's take a look at this and talk about the features and all that good stuff. So first things first, considering this is a hardy, heavily waxed canvas tarp, it's considerably compact. You can press it down quite nicely in your pack. It's not the most lightweight thing in the world, it's about 1.8 kilograms, but it's doable, especially if you're going for an overnighter or you're not carrying too much else. It's definitely an option. And like I said, it's made from this beautiful sort of mid-weight, heavily waxed canvas that Bushcraft Spain excels at. These are all made by hand, and the stitching is relatively neat and strong. I've certainly never had any issues. Over the years you may need to do a little bit of maintenance on your gear, but that's kind of the name of the game with bushcraft anyway. We're just playing with fun. So, if we open this up, the size of this tarp is about 2 by 2.5 meters. So it's a relatively good size for 1 to 2 people, considering your weather conditions and what configuration you want to put it in. But around the perimeter we have 8 fairly sturdy tie-off loops, and in the center we have 1 sturdy tie-off loop which has a reinforced patch around it, which is great if you want to hang stuff from the inside, if you want to put it that way. If you flip it the other way, you can cinch it back, tying it off to a tree, what have you, open you up, stop you from pooling any water, giving you a bit of extra space on the inside. And beautiful leather patch there from Bushcraft Spain with a gorgeous Lynx emblem on it. Nice. So without further ado, let's get it set up into, let's start off with an A-frame. So first up we have the basic lengthways A-frame. Now it's a little bit tight, squeezing in here around the poles, if you have poles that is. If you tie it off to a tree, then you're alright. But once you're in, there's plenty of adequate room for one fella and all of his kit. You can fit 2 people at a push, but it's gonna be cozy. So, just for a bit more perspective, there you are. My head is completely covered, my feet are covered. Got enough coverage both sides. If the rain starts going sideways, I should be okay. Plenty of room for one person, for a lighter weight camping setup. Yeah, tidy. And for a bit of perspective from the side. Here you can see I've porched one side up, and I've got plenty more space. Plenty more space to move around, plenty more space to come in and out, plenty more space for my gear, good all-round vision, good airflow for a nice summer day. Definitely not as much wind resistance or heat retention, but if this is suitable for the time of year and your needs, this is a great setup, and I really enjoy observing the forest from here. On my stove I can cook up some food in here, or just have a fire outside, and those views in the morning are beautiful. Here you can see there's definitely room for 2, and you can put your gear at either ends. You might want to wrap them in a tarp to keep them protected from the elements, but this is a pretty comfortable setup. if not a little cozy for two folks. So this is definitely my most regularly used setup with this tarp. I have made an A-frame along the width, so I'll put it widthways, and this gives you so much more space on the inside to move around, put your gear, get in and out. Yep, there's plenty more space for another person in here as well. Unfortunately, because the tarp is only 2 by 2.5, you've only got 2 meters of length. So if the rain starts to pick up and comes in sideways, the ends of your bedroll are gonna get a little bit soggy. But I tend to use this mostly for summer camping as a bit of a sunshade and light rain. And for this is absolutely perfect. This is how I set it up. Now, you can absolutely porch this out, porch this side out. It's gonna give you a lot more space, observation, airflow, perfect for the summer. Another option for a tarp this size, given the size that it is just about bigger than a double-sized wool blanket. So you can use it as a waterproof cover for your bedroll, like a cowboy. So to start off, I'm going to position myself roughly in the middle, like so. And then I'm going to pull this bottom corner towards me, over my feet, like this. Then I'm going to take this bottom corner and wrap it over me, like that, and underneath. Then I'll take this side and over this way. And then you can take the top, like so. Now obviously I've done this in a pretty rushed way, just to show you guys, but you can adjust it and give yourself a little bit more space up top so you can bring it over to make yourself a little bit more waterproof. If you've got another ground sheet or a smaller tarp, like a poncho sized tarp, you can just pitch that over your head, so then you can be open and you don't have to be covered up and you're still protected from the rain. And yeah, good emergency option as well if you're caught out in the bush and you need to spend the night and you want to be extra warm and wrapped up. So I think that's pretty much covered most of the basics of using a tarp this size. But with a tarp this size, about the size of a double blanket, as we've said, your options are limitless really. It's so versatile and you can find 101 different uses for it. You can fashion it into a makeshift backpack. You can use it to drag and carry things through the woods. You can put sticks through the loops and use it as a stretcher if someone gets injured. You could stick a hole in the middle and use it as a poncho for the rain, especially if you've got a good hat. Your options are limitless with a tarp this size. Now the killer is the fabric. Now what's so amazing about wax canvas, not only is it a really cool historical fabric that looks amazing and wears well, but it's just how much more you can beast it than a regular plastic tarp. Now I like to take care of my kit. I think having respect for your belongings is important. You look after them, they'll take care of you. But you really can be a little bit rougher with it. And you can drag it on the floor and you don't have to worry about brambles or anything sharp. It is much more abrasion resistant. And you can also get so much closer to a fire. If you have it porched up, you can have your fire so much closer. You don't need to worry about sparks and embers as much as you would if you were using a plastic tarp. Same goes if your bed rolled up on the floor. You can cozy up to your fire and you're going to be alright. So yeah, that's about it for this video and this great product. And I want to say cheers to Bushcraft Spain for being a wonderful company and producing some amazing all-natural, sustainable, traditional bushcraft items. They've been having a real tough time of it as of late. For those of you who don't know, most of their factory was washed away and most of their stock during the floods in Spain, and they're having to rebuild from scratch. Thankfully they've been able to raise a bit of money and hopefully through time they'll build back up again and continue to produce some wonderful products for bushcrafters around the world to test them through the test of time. Last them through the test of time. So that's all for today's video, guys. Cheers for watching, and hopefully I'll be producing a few more videos soon. And if you have any ideas or any requests, just let me know. Just let me know in the comments, and I'll be with you soon.